Hi, I'm Peter Gordon, and this is a production of Saturday Works. Each week, we reflect on what this Sunday's Gospel can teach us about encountering God and serving our neighbors. And welcome to our reflection for Divine Mercy Sunday in 2022. In this week's Gospel, we see Jesus entering into this locked upper room where the apostles are basically hiding for their lives. At least that's what they fear. And Jesus enters into that room, despite the fact that it's locked, and says, "Peace be with you." Now this week's Gospel gives us a great opportunity to think about how do we encounter Jesus through our encounters with our neighbor. Where is Jesus present? One way to think about any interaction with another person is that Jesus is present in both people. You have two people who both have their own sufferings, and two people who both can act as instruments of Jesus' mercy. And when we look at this in the context of serving our neighbors, on the one hand, you may have one person who is suffering something that's physical. It might be poverty, it might be food insecurity, it might be housing insecurity. And we enter into that suffering when we bring them food, bring them money, bring them a place to live. But on the other hand, there may be somebody who's suffering spiritually. It may be, the burdens of their own, say, addictions or sins or whatever. And when we enter into their suffering, we can bring them healing or forgiveness or just another encounter with a person who cares. See this in an analogy into Jesus entering into the locked room. On the one hand, there are these apostles who are afraid for their lives. And Jesus enters into their locked room and says, "Peace be with you." In that case, obviously, there's Jesus, the instrument of his own mercy, looking into the fearful suffering of his apostles and bringing them peace. Another way of looking at it, though, is, the apostles can really be any of us who, that locked room is that part of us that we keep kind of hidden from Jesus, that part where we have shame about things we might have done in the past. And Jesus can enter right into that and say, "Peace be with you," to any of us. So I think this is a great day to reflect on Divine Mercy Sunday about how great God's mercy is. For any of us, wherever we are spiritually or physically, whatever suffering we may have, Jesus enters into that and says, "Peace be with you." In some cases, he calls us to be that instrument of peace for others. In some cases, he's that peace himself. We just need to open up our own locked rooms and let him in. So my prayer for us for Divine Mercy Sunday is that whatever our locked room is, may we let Jesus into it and let him say, "Peace be with you." May God bless you, and see you next week.